Welcome back to Our Issues Milwaukee. I'm your host, Andrea Williams. Our focus has been on COVID-19, and I'm happy to share some good news during this segment. My next guest heads Bader Philanthropies Incorporated, which invests in people and their communities, not only here in Milwaukee, but across Wisconsin and places throughout the world. It's a pleasure to welcome Daniel Bader, who serves as the president and CEO of Bader Philanthropies. How are you?
I'm doing well. Thank you. We're all doing well.
That's good to hear. Under the circumstances, it's always good to hear that everyone's doing well, right?
Yeah, I think like everyone else, we are finding all the silver linings in this crisis. So I think the same silver linings as everyone. Plenty of
Yeah.
family time and great time with my family at family meals and such. So.
Well, I really appreciate you taking the time to talk to us today. And like I said, there's some good news, and you certainly have created a silver lining in this situation. For those who may be unfamiliar, if you would tell us more about Bader Philanthropies and what it is you do.
So the foundation has been around now for about almost 30 years. We started as the Helen Bader Foundations in the early 90s. And at that point, we were focused on projects in Milwaukee and around Wisconsin. And in the 2015, we then renamed ourselves Bader Philanthropies, and we now are focused on activities around the world. Our main focus is here in Milwaukee. That's where we do most of our work. We are a foundation, and so we grant money to nonprofit organizations and support the good work of the nonprofit organizations in our community.
Yes, and you are doing good work during this unfortunate pandemic. So with that said, Bader Philanthropies just awarded $1 million, a grant that's going to help local organizations with the COVID-19 emergency effort. So that $1 million has gone to help a long list of organizations that are right here in our community.
That's correct. So we normally have a grants budget around $24 million, and that's a global budget, so that's a lot of money. But our board of directors decided in early March that we needed to make a special commitment of money that needs to be used right now in Milwaukee around COVID-19. So our board of directors met, of course, virtually, and decided to commit $1 million above and beyond our regular grant making. And we also decided to do that for grants that are expedited. So these are grants that respond quickly to the community's needs.
Well, I'm sure I speak for a lot of people when I say thank you for what you're doing. And I wanted to really spend a couple of minutes talking about a specific nonprofit that has benefited from this grant. $100,000 of that goes to the nonprofit Impact, and they of course serve the most vulnerable in our community, which includes the elderly, those with health conditions. The list goes on, but they are constantly giving information and resources to all those thousands of people who dial 211 in need of help.
And as you know, those calls have increased now since the COVID crisis really started. So they are just being deluged with people calling them, asking them for help. And we have conversations with all the organizations that we fund, and we had a conversation with the great folks at Impact and talked to them about what their needs are. And they said what they really need right now are more people. So we gave them a grant of $100,000, as you said, so they can hire some more people to man the phones, to make sure that when the citizens of our great city call them, then they can have those staff there to answer the questions and direct them to the resources that they need.
Yeah, that is pretty awesome. And during these uncertain times, people have lost their jobs. They need to pay their mortgage or rent. And while they're dealing with all of that, there are the stresses, just the everyday stresses, maybe trying to homeschool their children, whatever the case may be. But it's important to point those things out because 211, when you dial those three numbers, they are able to give you resources for health and mental health care, substance use, disorder treatment, domestic violence, which is another scenario where officials are saying that the numbers of cases have gone up since we've been on a stay-at-home order.
Of course, and unfortunately, all of these issues become even more challenging right now in the crisis. So if you're a person that's struggling with any of the issues that you mentioned, getting the resources and getting the care is even more difficult than it was before. There are
Mhm.
more people now that are struggling with homelessness, and more people struggling with addiction and crises in their families, whether it's related directly to COVID-19 or other issues. And it's hard to find those resources and those support systems. So having a well-funded, well-staffed organization such as Impact right now is really important.
Yeah, I would agree with you 100%. And so, as I mentioned, this $100,000 grant is part of a larger effort made by Bader Philanthropies in response to COVID-19. And you've also funded, as I stated earlier, 35 other local organizations. Give us an idea of some of those organizations and how they too will benefit from this grant.
Well, these are organizations that really serve the greater needs of our community. So I think many of us would be surprised if we looked at the times that we interact with nonprofit organizations on a weekly basis. Lots of us interact with nonprofit organizations all the time. So these are organizations that still serve the elderly. These are organizations that work in the arts. These are organizations that help people get employment. Many aspects of what we do as citizens of Milwaukee includes in some aspect a nonprofit organization. So
Mhm.
there's many of them. I don't know that it'd be helpful to list all of them, but
Right.
I just
I
pointed
don't even
out
know if
that
we have that time, right?
we don't have that time. But there's a couple that maybe highlight. Milwaukee Center for Independence is one that really has done a great job. The River West Artists Association, um, Sojourner Foundation, 16th Street Community Health Center, and many. There's so many that it would be hard for me to list all of them.
Go ahead.
I think it would surprise all of us if we sat down and made a list of the nonprofit organizations that we interact with in a month. It's a big part of the fabric of this community of Milwaukee, these nonprofit organizations. So we need to have them healthy and strong. And right now they're struggling because revenue is down, contributions are down, but need is increasing.
Yes, indeed. And so when you think about Impact 211 and people dialing those numbers for resources, a lot of the organizations that you just mentioned are resources that really help make a difference in the lives of individuals who live here in our community. Just to give an idea of a few other organizations that have benefited: Feeding America, Eastern Wisconsin, Fresh Start Learning Incorporated, the Milwaukee Rescue Mission. All of them do outstanding work in really making sure individuals who are in specific situations have the means to get out of those situations.
That's right. As I said, I think there's been many more situations that people have gotten into. Um, or have happened to them as a result of this crisis, where
Yeah.
if they used to visit family and the family would help feed them, that family may no longer want them to come. Unfortunately, that's the reality we're in, where some people have closed out down their home. And if you're a person that often feeds people, which happens in our community, and you're not able to do that, then people are, trying to figure out a way to get food and to get comfort. And these organizations, in many cases, are still serving the community. They're doing it in a different fashion, of course, but they're still
Mhm.
serving the community.
Which is also very important. A couple of years ago, the foundation moved from the historic Third Ward to a newly renovated state-of-the-art global headquarters in Milwaukee's Harambe neighborhood. So if you would talk about the significance and the importance of that move.
Well, what we wanted to do was really become part of a neighborhood. So we're a foundation. We interact, mostly with nonprofit organizations, and we love the work that we do. But we really wanted to get the feel and the vibe of what it's like to be in a neighborhood. And so we come to work every day, not so much right now, of course, because of the COVID situation, but we have had a lot of interaction with our neighbors, and it's really given us an opportunity to get to know people well. Um, in addition to that, we wanted to make an investment into this neighborhood. So in addition to building our headquarters building, we also gave a $1 million grant to Habitat for Humanity Milwaukee to build homes in this area. We have a project that we're working on that will be a cafe that I hope someday in the future I can sit down with a cup of coffee and talk to you in person. That's going to be in this community as well. We're also invested in a healthcare clinic in this community. So that we really want to invest in an actual community. And the Harambe community is such a rich place with people. Many people have been in this neighborhood for many years. They've been here generationally, and it's just we're delighted to be part of the neighborhood.
Yeah, and when I read about the big move, not only did you take a building and renovate it and really add something to the neighborhood, your goal was to learn and work together to transform the world, to make it a better place to live. And that's an important thing in this day and age when we look at the divisiveness that exists. So it really is important to work hard to bring people together for the greater good. So once we get past this pandemic, we are going to see a number of individuals who will be in need, a number of organizations who will continue to be in need in order to help others. How do you foresee being able to help once we have gotten past this pandemic?
Well, it's going to be our new reality, right? And I don't think anyone else knows exactly how this is going to work. But I do know that I believe in nonprofit organizations. I've been in this field for 30 years, and I know that nonprofit organizations can adapt, and they will adapt, and they'll adapt to the needs. They adapted to the needs in this COVID crisis, and they will adapt to the needs as we transition into the new normal for Milwaukee.
Yeah, that's the key words, the new normal. Thank you again for your time and for all that you're doing to help make a difference right here in the Milwaukee community.
Thank you. It's great to see you.
Same here. You take care of yourself. Daniel Bader is the president and CEO of Bader Philanthropies. And for more information, you can call 414-224-6464. Visit their website at bader.org. That is going to do it for today's show. I'm your host, Andrea Williams. As always, I thank you for watching, and I do hope you join us again next week as we take another look at our issues in Milwaukee. Have a great day.